Hello, hello, hello. This is Deb, Life in My Lane. Before we get started, I would please like to ask you to subscribe, share, comment, any questions, any comments. Did I get anything wrong? Let me know. I will not get mad. I will look it up and I will fix it. What we're gonna do right now, I'm gonna do a couple tonight. We're going to do borderline personality diagnostic criteria. A pervasive pattern of instability of interpersonal relationships, self-image and affects, and marked impulsivity beginning by early adulthood and present in a variety of contexts as indicated by 5 or more of the following. Okay, we have 9 of them. There are a couple of them that says do not include suicide, self-mutilating behavior, because that covers in number 5. So number 1, frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. Note, do not include suicide or self-mutilating behavior covered in criterion 5. A pattern of instability and intense impersonal relationship characterized by alternating between extremes of idealization and devaluation. Number 3, identity disturbance. Markedly and persistently unstable self-image or sense of self. Impulsivity in at least 2 areas that are potentially self-damaging. Example, spending, sex, substance abuse, reckless driving, binge eating. Note, do not include suicide or self-mutilating behavior covered in criterion 5. And here's number 5. Recurring suicidal behavior, gestures or threats, or self-mutilating behavior. Number 6, affective instability due to marked reactivity of mood. Example, intense episodic dysphoria. Irritability or anxiety usually lasts a few hours and only rarely more than a few days. Chronic feelings of emptiness. Inappropriate, intense anger or difficulty controlling anger. Example, frequent displays of temper, constant anger, reoccurrent physical fights. Number 9 is transient. Stress-related paranoia, ideation, or severe dissociative symptoms. Okay. Now, I have a few things that I can go over with that I dealt with. These papers that I'm reading to you, I got from I went to therapy, intense therapy, 3 times a week, and it was 7 hours a day. And we got all this paperwork and all this information that if we feel a certain way, we can go over the papers and we can try and calm ourselves or do whatever needs to be done. Okay, now, in my opinion, and I could be wrong. Borderline personality disorder is similar to bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder can last for days, weeks, months, years. It can last. Borderline personality disorder, they're more, they can happen very quickly. Like you can be up in a euphoria and then 5 minutes later you're down in a depression, or you get angry, or What else? You can get suicidal. You can get um, very reckless. My personal self, used to get, um, I was bipolar 2, and somehow they figured out I was not bipolar 2, I was bipolar 1. I was tested in the hospital when I was in there for 2 months, and they found out that I do get the euphoria that bipolar 1 gets. Bipolar 2 usually doesn't get the euphoria. Um, they can get manic, um, and it can be euphoric, but it can also be very, very bad. It can be angry, it can be depression, it can be anything bad. Um, let's see. Okay, right here. I'm going to read number 6 again. Affective inability due to a marked reactivity of mood. That means your mood is up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Example, intense episodic dysphoria. Irritability or anxiety usually last a few hours and only rarely more than a few days. See, these are all like bipolar, but they last very short times. They're not months, they're not weeks, they're not, it can last up to a few days, and that's pretty much it. I'm not sure how many of you know what dissociation is. I read that in the last one. Transient stress-related paranoia, ideation, or severe dissociation symptoms. Dissociation is something that I deal with. And I will use an example as of, say I go to the grocery store. When I drove, which I do not drive now, when I drove, I would leave the grocery store, and within a couple of minutes of driving, I'm out of it. It's muscle memory. I know how to get home, and the next thing I would know after leaving the store is pulling into my driveway. Dissociation is when you tend to pull away from yourself. Let me see. See, I can't read this, or I would read this to you. This is all dissociation. But that is what happens. You feel as though, like, it's like you forget. It's like I would drive from the grocery store home, and I would not remember driving home. I would not remember which way I drove. I would not remember how fast I drove. I would just know that I drove from the grocery store home without knowing that I did it. I pull in, and it's like, how did I get here? How did I get here? So that is what dissociative symptoms is. I'm going to stop this right now. I still have a few minutes, but I am going to do another one. I'm going to do another vlog. And you can listen to it or not. 15 things to give up if you want to be happy. That sounds it sounds like an oxymoron. But there are things that you need to give up sometimes to be happy, and I'm gonna do that next. So Everybody, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please comment. Please questions. Please share. I know I don't talk as fast as some of those other people that do vlogs. But to tell you the truth, I have a very my short-term memory is not that great. So I'll be talking and I'll have to stop to try and remember what. And that I'm told has it has to do with probably my medications, and probably a little bit of each of what I am diagnosed with. So yes, I am going to go and subscribe. Please subscribe, share. Yep. Y'all have a good night. Thank you for listening.